The information in this video is provided for informational and educational purposes only.
Welcome to Dose of DN, where you'll get a little shot of what my life is like living with SMA. February 28th is Rare Disease Day. It's a day where we celebrate rare diseases, pass along information, bring awareness to rare diseases, and frankly, this year, I'm not all about it. As I'm editing this, maybe celebrate isn't the right word. Nobody goes, yay, I have a rare disease. But you can be proud of how you live with your disease, if that makes sense. So maybe that's kind of more what I mean by celebrate. I'm struggling with it because for my entire life, I've felt very supported in the community as far as my disability and what I consider disability supports. But lately, I feel like we've gone backwards in this department. I have a few examples for you. I'll share them with you, and then I want to get your opinion because, frankly, I don't know what to do about it. So, for years, the pharmacy that I go through has delivered my medication. It's really convenient because I don't drive, and in the wintertime, I really don't want to make someone have to go get my medication, but if they're doing it as a part of their job, it makes it a little easier for me. But I called in my prescription at the beginning of January, and I got a phone call that said, "Oh, we have your medication here, but as of January 1st, we don't deliver anymore." Apparently, there was a corporate decision to quit the medication delivery. All right, well, I called around to see if other pharmacies delivered, and there is one pharmacy that does, but they don't compound medication. Because I have a feeding tube, I have my medications compounded into liquid form so they go through my feeding tube. Well, the other pharmacy that delivers doesn't do that. So now I have to burden somebody to go pick up my medication when it's time to refill it. And when you have a disability, that burden complex is there, at least for me it is. And it's not something that I want to do, but of course now it's something that I have to do. And then there's this. I know some of you can relate to this. Last month I had my assessment from the county to receive services. So I can get up in the morning, go to the bathroom, continue living. And it's kind of a pain in the butt, and I think you guys can relate to this, but when I get the assessment, I have to sign off on it. Well, every time they make an adjustment, I have to sign off again. I'm sending back 4 times that they've made adjustments, and I was about to send it back and I get another one in the mail. So I said, "Do you need the most recent one or do you need them all?" And she said, "Oh, please send them all back." So right here, I have 4 envelopes going back to the county so I can continue receiving services. This is how ridiculous it is, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? I forgot to mention, when you have limited mobility, signing a document, stuffing an envelope, and getting it out into the mail is quite a challenge in itself. The entire assessment process needs to be streamlined. However, it's become more complicated. Instead of the caseworker doing the assessment who knows you, now they have someone specifically to do the assessments. I understand it takes the workload off of the caseworker, but the person that does the assessments doesn't really know you, and it just seems like it increases the margin of error. And now, instead of meeting with one person, we have to meet with two people. It's not fun. I don't know the solution, but it is very frustrating. Another thing that's frustrating is accessibility. We've made great strides in the past years. However, there's still issues that come up. Like my favorite business downtown. For years, they've had their clearance section down in the basement. It's irritating because I want in on the sales too, but they are kind enough if I'm looking for something specific to go down and check for me. Unfortunately, recently, they moved their seasonal section upstairs, and they justified it by saying that it makes their main level more accessible. I don't know how that works when now half of your store is inaccessible. I don't know. There's also issues with transportation to medical appointments. My insurance doesn't reimburse enough, so I can't get rides down to my medical appointments. And then there's my city license for my service dog. My city in past years has given me a discount because he is a service dog. However, they recently took that away. And so now I pay 160 times more for my dog's license than I do for my own state ID. I think that's ridiculous. It's just difficult as Rare Disease Day approaches to see that in some areas we haven't made as much progress as we should. But I guess that's why I'm making this video, because if you don't know about it, you can't fix it. So if I put it out there, maybe there will be changes and reform. I'd love to know what you guys think. Head on over to the forums at smanewstoday.com/forums to leave me your thoughts or comment below this video. But that's all I have for you today. We'll talk again soon. Bye for now.